Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 most romantic dance scenes. For this list, we'll be looking at the most electric dances from both musicals and non-musical films where the chemistry between the participants is palpable. Which dance scene made you swoon in your seat? Be sure to let us know in the comments.
If you like what you're hearing, be sure to check out the full song at the link below.
Number 20, Turn Me On, Love Actually. If you've ever gotten together with someone you'd been crushing on for a long time, you know exactly how this moment feels.
Just one dance before we run out of chances.
For me?
Unless you just...
No. Good.
Sarah has been pining after Carl for years, and everyone knows it, including Carl. But she's too shy to do anything about it. At the company Christmas party, he finally asks her to dance, and the music unexpectedly transitions to a slow song.
I'm just sitting here, waiting for you to come on home and turn me on.
As they sway to the romantic ballad, Carl twines his hand in hers, and her radiant smile tells us everything we need to know. Nothing feels better than requited love.
Like a school kid, waiting for the spring.
Number 19, Dancing in the Street, The Notebook. You don't need music to have a romantic dance, especially with Ryan Gosling. Noah has gone to great lengths, or should we say tall heights, to get Ali to agree to a date.
God damn my head slipper.
You grabbed the bar, you idiot!
Not until she agrees.
Go out with him, honey. Okay, fine. I'll go out with you.
It's a good thing he's so dang charming. As they walk through the empty streets together late at night, he invites her to dance. And this time, she doesn't put up a fight.
You're a terrible singer.
I know.
But I like this song.
Although they only have his terrible singing and the music in their minds to accompany them, they manage to find harmony together. This sweet moment is only one reason The Notebook is a romance for the ages.
That this heart of mine embraces all day through.
Number 18, On the Roof, Kate and Leopold. Duke Leopold is a fish out of water in this time travel themed rom-com. After falling into a time portal and being transported from 1876 to the 21st century, he soon meets and falls in love with Kate.
God. This is beautiful.
The very word for which I was searching.
Although Leopold's clothes, beliefs and mannerisms are squarely out of place in the year 2001, Kate can't help but fall for his charm and chivalry. After they share a rooftop dinner, he invites her to dance. She's clumsy, but Leo is ever the gentleman.
I am not much of a dancer.
You were doing famously then.
The atmosphere, the lighting, and the music from the solo violinist all combine to make this dance scene undeniably romantic, no matter which century you're from. Number 17, The Long-Awaited Dance, Avengers Endgame. As the Infinity Saga came to a close, Steve Rogers made his way back to the year 1970 in order to fulfill his part of the mission. It's here that he runs into his love lost to time, and we can only imagine the sorts of emotions that were dredged up.
Where is he?
I don't know. He blew right by his timestamp. He should be here.
When all is said and done, and Cap steps into the time machine again to return the Infinity Stones to their rightful places, he decides to give up everything to stay in the past with Peggy.
You want to tell me about her?
No, I don't think I will.
We don't get to see any of their life together, except for this one intimate moment. From the way they gaze into each other's eyes, we know this was the right decision. They finally got their dance. Number 16, You Were Meant for Me, Singin' in the Rain. Kathy Selden might be the only person in Hollywood who isn't head over heels for actor Don Lockwood.
This is what I'd say to you. You were meant for me.
After a rocky start, they reunite on a studio lot where Kathy is working as a film extra. Don takes advantage of the movie props to create an enchanting setting in which to tell Kathy how he feels about her. In this case, the atmosphere adds as much to the romance as the song and dance, with the studio lights giving off a warm sunset glow, a fog machine creating gentle mist, and a giant fan blowing a gentle breeze. It would be hard for anyone to resist falling in love in that situation.
But I'm content. The angels must have sent you.
Number 15, Tango at the Bistro, Adam's family values. Gomez and Morticia Addams have always been relationship goals. In this dramatic dance scene in a dimly lit bistro, they demonstrate just how in sync they are as a couple when they tango together. Their moves are so well choreographed, it looks like they've done this routine 1,000 times. Of course, we know how much they love dancing together, so maybe they have. The passion between them is obvious in every spin and step. With feats of skill and a twirl so fast it sets the floor on fire, the spouses have the entire restaurant spellbound. Number 14, A Surprise Return, Becoming Jane. The real-life Jane Austen never married, and some believe it's because no man could ever live up to her first love, Thomas Lefroy.
You dance with passion.
No sensible woman would demonstrate passion if the purpose were to attract a husband.
In this fictionalized biopic, Tom depends on his rich uncle to support his family, and he's forced to leave Jane for an arranged marriage. But Tom can't stand to be away from her, and he's willing to throw away his family fortune just so they can be together. In this scene, he returns to surprise her at a formal party, suddenly appearing as she dances with her new fiancé, Mr. Weasley. They can't show their true feelings at this public gathering, but the expression on Jane's face says it all. Number 13, Perhaps, Strictly Ballroom. These two aren't supposed to be dancing together, and they're definitely not supposed to be successful in the hyper-competitive world of ballroom dancing.
Perhaps. A million times I've asked you, and then...
Fran is just a beginner, and Scott refuses to play by the Ballroom Dancing Federation's archaic rules. Everyone else wants Scott to partner up with a champion. Even Fran is reluctant.
If you can't make your mind up, we'll never get started. And I don't wanna fight.
But when Scott tracks her down backstage at a competition, he coaxes her into a sensual dance to the tune of Doris Day's Perhaps. Although dozens of disapproving eyes are watching, Scott and Fran never take their eyes off each other.
And please don't tell me.
Number 12, First Dance, Pride and Prejudice. Elizabeth Bennet and Mr. Darcy are the OG enemies to lovers. She thinks he's an arrogant meddler, and although he believes she's beneath his class, he's drawn to her.
I talked about the dance. Now you ought to remark on the size of the room or the number of couples.
I'm perfectly happy to oblige. Please advise me of what you would like most to hear.
In this scene, you could cut the tension between them with a knife. When he asks her to dance at the Netherfield ball, she accepts without really knowing why.
You talk as a rule while dancing?
No. No, I prefer to be unsociable and taciturn. Makes it all so much more enjoyable.
What starts out as playful banter soon gets heated, and the other dancers disappear as the two confront each other.
Make out your character, Mr. Darcy.
And what have you discovered?
Very little. I hear such different accounts of you as puzzle me exceedingly.
I hope to afford you more clarity in the future.
It's hard to know what each one is thinking as they stare the other down, but the chemistry is undeniable. Number 11, Country Sway, The Horse Whisperer. This beautiful Montana countryside is a far cry from Annie's home in New York.
Want to see it again?
Yep.
Can you do it without smiling?
Yep.
No, you can't. Not possible. I can feel the muscles.
me.
I can feel the muscles right there.
As Tom, the horse whisperer, helps Annie's daughter and her horse heal after a traumatic accident, Annie and Tom discover they harbour feelings for each other. The only problem is that Annie is married, and soon her husband Robert shows up unexpectedly. That doesn't stop Annie and Tom from sharing an intimate dance at a get-together though. The fact that Robert is sitting just a few feet away makes the scene even more intense, as Annie and Tom can't keep their hands off each other, despite the risk of being seen.
How to find a soft place to love.
Number 10, a very spirited dance, The Mask of Zorro. These two were smitten with each other from their very first encounter. Every moment Elena and Alejandro spend together seems to be filled with unspoken passion, and none more so than this scene. Alejandro is posing as a wealthy nobleman to win the trust of Elena's scheming father. At this party, at the hacienda, he can't resist the chance to dance with her. All eyes are on them, as the dance gets faster and more intense. The rousing performance takes everyone's breath away, and leaves the onlookers cheering. Number 9, Your Song, Moulin Rouge. In a classic case of mistaken identity, Satine, the high-priced sex worker, thinks she's being wooed by a handsome young duke. In reality, is Christian, a talented but poor writer.
My gift is my song, and this one's for you.
When he comes to her room for a poetry reading, she assumes he has something else in mind.
Yours are the sweetest eyes I've ever seen.
But Satine is soon captivated by Christian's voice and Elton John's beautiful lyrics.
This is your song, and now that it's done.
As he serenades her, they leap out the window to literally dance among the clouds. Doesn't take long for her to fall completely in love, and Baz Luhrmann's signature stylization makes the scene truly magical. Number 8, Prance Among the Stars, La La Land. A planetarium might not sound like an obvious place to take a date, but there's something about a starlit setting that makes a scene extra romantic. Mia and Seb's first dance together comes earlier in the film, when they're adamant that there's absolutely nothing between them. While that number is visually stunning in every way, it's hard to compete with the blend of real emotion and fantasy starlight that makes up the observatory dance. Soon everything melts away, and it's just the two of them against a stunning night sky. Number 7. Catherine Clifton and Laszlo Almashi, the English Patient. This Hungarian cartographer is not a subtle man.
Platonic love, filial love. Quite different things, surely.
Uxoriousness, that's my favourite kind of love. Excessive love of one's wife.
Now there you have me.
He's taken with Catherine almost from the first moment he sees her, and he's not very good at hiding it, even though she's married. After following her through the market of Cairo, they meet again at the hotel, where he asks her to dance.
Why did you follow me yesterday?
I'm sorry, what?
After the market, you followed me to the hotel.
She doesn't quite know how to react to his direct manner and piercing gaze. As her husband sips champagne in the next room, the two share an intense moment on the dance floor, moving through a crowd of strangers as though they're the only two in the room. Unsurprisingly, that intensity soon develops into a fervent love affair. Number 6. You're the One That I Want. Grease. Sandy gets a lot of flack for changing for a man at the end of Grease, but to be fair, Danny was prepared to do the same, as evidenced by his new Letterman attire. He arrives at the end of year's school carnival in his sweater, only to discover that Sandy has a new look too. In this high energy number, they realise their chemistry is just too strong to let go. Ultimately, the two just want to be together, and it doesn't matter what they're wearing or what cliques they're supposed to belong to. Number 5. A real party. Titanic. This scene isn't a standard slow dance, where the couple gazes into each other's eyes as they fall in love.
I don't know the steps.
Neither do I. Just go with it. Don't think.
Instead, it's about Rose opening up herself to a new world that's very different from the starchy, dignified one she's used to. As Jack and Rose dance together, they realise that they're more alike than was once apparent, even if they come from opposite sides of the tracks. Rose also begins to see that she could fit into Jack's world, and perhaps likes it even better than the one she's used to. The third class know how to have a good time, and this catchy Irish jig is just as good for a budding romance as any old waltz. Number 4. Cheek to Cheek. Top Hat. Jerry doesn't understand why Dale keeps rebuffing his advances. He doesn't know that Dale has mistaken him for her friend's husband, Horace.
And I seem to find the happiness I see when we're out together dancing cheek to cheek.
Despite her best efforts, Dale can't help but fall for Jerry's charm, especially when they dance together. Although Cheek to Cheek isn't their first dance scene, it's by far the most romantic. As they move away from the others into a deserted part of the ballroom, the music becomes more dramatic. Their perfect harmony makes it seem like they were born to partner up. There's a reason that Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers are considered two of the most iconic and talented dancers of all time. Number 3. Fountain Dance. An American in Paris. Lise and artist Jerry are in love, but Lise is engaged to Jerry's friend Henri. After she leaves to be with her fiancé, Jerry imagines himself inside one of his drawings, which turns into a long, elaborate dance sequence with Lise. The scene has tap, ballet, and a little bit of everything else, but the dance through the fountain is the most magical. The water has frozen in place, and the two move across its glassy surface to George Gershwin's sensual soundtrack. The music, the lighting, and the intricacy combine to make this moment truly stunning. Number 2. The Ländler, The Sound of Music. Maria goes to the home of the widower Captain Von Trapp to be a governess to his 7 children, not to fall in love.
Do allow me, will you?
But sometimes love has a way of creeping up on you, whether you want it or not. That's just what happens in this scene, as the two demonstrate an Austrian folk dance for the children during a fancy ball. As the routine becomes more intimate, Maria realizes she's having complicated feelings that she doesn't know how to handle, and she makes up an excuse to stop. But not before the two share a tense moment fraught with chemistry.
I don't remember anymore. Your face is all red, is it? I don't suppose I'm used to dancing.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. I've had the time of my life. Dirty Dancing. Honestly, most of the dance scenes in this movie could have been on our list, because every time Johnny and Baby are on screen together, it's electric. Still, their triumphant final performance in front of the entire resort has become iconic for a reason. And it's not the first time they perform this number together, but it is the most significant.
Can't remember, you're the one thing I can't get enough of.
This is, of course, because their first attempt at the grand lift was unsuccessful. This time, however, they nail it. Baby soaring over the crowd in Johnny's steady hands symbolizes everything they've overcome together and makes for a jubilant final scene.
Do you agree with our picks? Let us know in the comments. And hey, if you're a fan of the song playing right now, be sure to check out the music video for it right here.